The Way of the Dragon captures Bruce Lee in a state of total creative independence, unpolished, uncompromising, and entirely his vision. As the only feature he would both write and direct, it lacks studio smoothing or external discipline, offering instead a raw sense of authorship, inspired in its action, yet uneven in its construction. The film is structurally loose and punctuated by broad slapstick comedy that often fails to land, but focusing on the narrative clumsiness misses the point. This isn't a traditionally well-made movie, it is a physical manifesto of Bruce Lee. Rather than chase narrative precision, Lee chases expression through movement. What emerges is a filmmaker using cinema as a testing ground for philosophy, where every rhythmic adjustment feels like a system being refined in real time. This isn't Bruce Lee perfected, it is Bruce Lee's raw, unadulterated vision. The Arrow Video 4K UHD finally grants the film a stability it has rarely enjoyed on home video. Sourced from a restoration of the original camera negative, the UHD image holds together with a natural filmic consistency. The grain is present without being overworked, and the detail resolves cleanly, avoiding the heavy-handed digital interference that plagued earlier releases. Colours are balanced rather than pushed. The sunlit Roman exteriors feel appropriately warm without tipping into artificial saturation, while interiors retain a softer, controlled palette. Crucially, the audio options respect the film's history, providing multiple mono tracks, Mandarin, Cantonese, and the classic English dub, allowing for a choice in how to experience the performance. It is a restrained, confident restoration. The plot is minimal by design. Tang Lung, played by Lee, arrives in Rome to defend a family restaurant from a local syndicate. From there, the film unfolds as a series of escalating confrontations with little interest in traditional narrative complexity. The Way of the Dragon is built on movement, observation, adaptation, and rhythm. Lee studies his opponents, adjusts, and refines his approach. It is Jeet Kune Do, translated directly into cinema. Then there is the Colosseum. The final confrontation between Lee and American karate champion Chuck Norris is the film's entire reason for existing. Stripped of music and excess, the fight becomes abstract. Two bodies in space, two styles colliding. It begins as a measured, respectful contest before Lee gradually shifts, shedding rigidity in favour of fluidity. By the time the duel ends, it is no longer just a fight, it is a statement. While the film would have benefited from a seasoned director to tighten the connective tissue between these bouts, the raw power of Lee's physical intent remains undeniable. The Way of the Dragon isn't Bruce Lee's most polished film, but it is perhaps his most revealing. As a piece of cinema, it is tonally inconsistent and structurally loose, yet as a document of Lee's philosophy and intent, it is essential. Arrow's 4K preserves that reality with clarity and restraint, allowing the film to exist as it should, unpolished but alive. It is a flawed film, but a vital one that prioritises presence and evolution over polish. That's all from us at The Last Disc on Earth, and remember, come the apocalypse, physical media will prevail.